These are the first pictures into us showing people's pages exploding in Lebanon. Now, the government is urging people to get rid of their pages after this bizarre attack. Sources say pages belonging to members of the Iran-backed Hezbollah began exploding in areas where the group operates. Let's just watch this video again. This is video just into CNN. It shows the moment where pages exploded. This is in one of the markets, as you can see.
नमस्कार सर और संवाद एट में आपका स्वागत है। शुरुआत में सर एक हफ्ते हो गए, करीब करीब एक सप्ताह हो चुके हैं जब लेबनान में पेजर्स, लैपटॉप, सोलर पैनल्स सडनली मिस्टीरियसली एक्सप्लोड करने लगे। बहुत सारी थ्योरीज आ रही हैं कि ये इतना सिंक्रोनाइजेशन कैसे हुआ, कोई सप्लाई चेन जो थी वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज हुई। आपके हिसाब से सर एक इंडियन नाम भी आ चुका है सर इसमें, रिंसन जोस है जो नॉर्वेजियन नेशनल है आपके। सो व्हाट इज द मोस्ट प्लॉजिबल एक्सप्लेनेशन आपके हिसाब से सर? सबसे प्लॉजिबल एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है इस सारे इवेंट्स के पीछे?
सबसे पहले तो जय हिंद आपको। इजराइल, जब हम किसी चीज को देखना चाहते हैं कि कोई चीज क्यों हुई, उसके पीछे हमें कैरेक्टर्स देखना जरूरी है और कैपेबिलिटी लाइज इन दोज कैरेक्टर्स। Israel has been facing these things and has been doing preparations for a very long time. Now, it is very incorrect for me to blame Israel done it, who has done it, but they are fighting, so I suppose so. The preparation had started in 2022. The undercover people, because there's a combination of special forces and inter-organization called Mossad, because their resources are not compromised to anybody. It could be anybody in the army or otherwise. What is secret, what's need to know basis, they work. So there will be elements who are taken in to advise in terms of explosives and so on, and that thing, what needs to be done. But ultimately, who implements are all different categories. They have no idea. 22, what I know about is that Taiwanese company called Gold Apollo makes the pagers. After Nasrullah made the announcement to their own leadership that we will stop using mobile phones because you can be detected, number of people located, and Israel has the capacity to check and strike accordingly. So they decided, he said, hereafter we are not going to use mobile. Now, it was a chatter in Lebanon among the soldier level of guys in town that we will stop using this. Then, so when they picked up this chatter, they did an investment in Budapest. They went into an arrangement with Apollo, saying that they want to sell their items in Europe. So Apple, the Gold Apollo came over there, checked everything, facilities and all their intention, kind of businessmen. They were actually businessmen who were doing businesses around there. And they started that, making, manufacturing. And they also made this arrangement that we will be using your name. We will not change the name, and for which loyalty will be given in addition to the profit. They continue doing that, and they prepared. This is a gradual process that they were doing. It is not overnight. Then, now making all this, that okay, pages have been made, one of those cell is explosive, but how to explode it? So there can be an impulse which gives the impetus for it to explode. So it could be a message, or it could be pre-fixed date on which it can happen. There are two theories. One says that there were 8,000 of them ordered, only 5,000 had reached. 3,000 had reached and the remainder was yet to come. Why were they in a hurry to do it? Maybe it was time fixed. So it had to go, or they realized that before they get exposed, they might as well do it. They start repairing or something of that nature. So the message, of course, came in Arabic, which is their own normal message which floats between the organization. And that's the time it exploded. Message did come. And as I discussed with you earlier, threat to that country is a very existence. Present day situation is far grave than even the time of Hitler. They were removed from there, they moved, found a homeland, created it, and they made their place heaven. And now, if they, for some reason or the other, found lacking in their determination to continue living here, and to have a determination is one thing, but to ensure that nobody can disturb them, they can fight all oppositions to their existence. That means use all kind of technology besides the willpower and determination. So they are prepared. And then the next day, I mean, you can see this almost like a military plan, that people who will be hurt and dead, there will be a cremation. So there will be people, police and all that will be with the answer. And so ICCOM from Japan, they stopped manufacturing in 2014. But they somehow had the license somewhere, created that, brought them and sold them. Now, there's some people joke about it that Israel exploded them with their own money. They bought and got exploded. Lebanon bought all these instruments, or the Hezbollah bought these instruments to get blown up. It's a very deep planning and secrecy, ability, nations' attitude towards their existence, a threat to existence. It is now or never. If they step, that's why he's not going in for peace, ceasefire. Many ceasefires have taken place. Because earlier, Palestine was fighting, or Hamas was fighting alone with help, money, and then they used to purchase, bringing items difficult. Chinese were involved. Their involvement through Iran and all that. So now they feel that the threat is to existence. Therefore, they're prepared this way. That's what I want to say.
So pagers are understandable. They could somehow compromise the whole supply chain. But the walkie-talkies, you yourself say that they have stopped manufacturing. तो ये कैसे होता है? Very बहुत intriguing एक subject. How do you penetrate something which is not even being manufactured now?
They through one company, they manufactured, because duplicating the equipment is not an issue. Everybody has a ICOM. I've also used. The world over, you can find a new set also. So they've done and sold them, because there are always middlemen who go to buy. When they make a good profit, they will buy that particular thing and convince you that this is still the best. Because middlemen is a dangerous issue all over the world. Because when equipment, military hardware being sold, there's so many people involved. Adnan Khashoggi is a famous guy who made all his money through the arms deals. So therefore, some dealer could be the conduit.
Sir, जैसा आपने कहा, it is a combination of intelligence and a military special forces operation. So every operation has basically an objective. So what is the objective? Ji.
Objective now, imagine they are going to be without communication. Lack of communication creates confusion. Because they need to get a direction to do or not to do. How will they get that? Normal administration of any armed outfit, legal or illegal, there has to be communication. Without communication, they are rudderless. The fear that anything can explode. Solar panels blew away. So television can blow away anytime. And they have shown their ability of using technology so well in the past. And this is just a simple example. And they said that they have made a comment that be prepared for other things happening. It is well in advance. Nothing is done at that very moment. Because when, for example, that Hania was killed, at that moment, obviously, security is so high, bird can't enter. It is activity of Hania used to go and meet his girlfriend. So it was prepared. Good about 1 or 2 years back, repairing or whatever happened. So all they wanted to know when he is going to be inside. That's about it. There's a car parked outside. There was a car parked outside, which wasn't locked also. They searched. So a decoy. Oh, everything is okay. There's nothing wrong. Car is just lying here. Went inside and blew away. And there was a guy obviously monitoring to push the button there, in Iran at least.
And sir, how big is the fear of this whole supply chain being compromised? Because this is obviously, it's going to hurt them. So how big and how is it going to affect the operations of Hezbollah in the near future?
All forces are motivated to die for a cause. When you get killed by just left, right, and center, the morale lands up in boots. Without having done anything, you're laying lives. And their helplessness brings morale way below management. So this is one aspect that they've achieved. And it is just a sideshow. They're continuing to achieve what they want to achieve. This is just they were threatening, they said, we do this, and we'll attack, and we do this, and we do that. They will have to think twice before doing it. And they will have to re-prepare before they are fully in position. 6 months is minimum time. They can get any sort of ability to communicate. Now may get a landline fixed or something on which they will speak and all that, so on and so forth. For who are they going to buy? Because they themselves don't manufacture anything. So anybody buying, and
there is a meme going on which shows that Hassan Nasrallah is using pigeons now to communicate.
That's of course a joke, but anything is possible because they are very fond of pigeons. They fly them and all that, hawks and so on, falcons, and they can use, but that's okay. That's one aspect. But when we look at from both sides, let's look at from the Nasrallah side. It's a blow. It is not a nation. It is a militant organization, self-sustaining. They take money and fight for a cause. But the morale is, deeper. Supports, it's for the time being, you feel helpless. And they have said only 12, and hindsight 20 died, and 12 they say died through the pagers. Wounded are much more. Much more. Everybody who had one was wounded. But liability, you see, when the Europe Western world introduced 5.56 MO for the combat weapons, assault rifles. We used to have a 7.62. 5.52 meant that, 5.54, it meant that they must wound the guy so that he becomes a liability for the nation. Wounded are much more living, and wounded are liability. Hospital, this, that, the other, administration, and they're out of action for some time. Some are out of action for a longer period. This does not apply to Middle East and some of the Asian countries, because the guy has to be dead because nobody bothers about the wounded. That's the attitude, basically. So this is the aim, medical facilities required, family support would be required. They will stop getting pay. It creates a whole lot of social unrest, end of the day. And fear of unknown is the most difficult kind of fear to be controlled by the leadership. It could be fear of anything, unknown. That's what I look at it. This is what they're trying to look for. Make them helpless. That will come from here, come from there. This is what Shivaji, who Aurangzeb called him, a rat of the mountains. Guerrilla warfare started by him. People gave credit to many chaps. Now, Shegua, and so on, all that. But Shivaji was there. Durgadas Rathod and Marwad here fought against him. And they created the fear that they appear anywhere and kill you. Any equipment you pick up will kill you. So in a way, you have been put 100 years back as far as communication is concerned.
Sir,
So
on
that is
operational scale, how do you rate this operation?
I think it's a brilliant, beyond imagination. This is what, you see, I just tell you one thing, that normally people feel that special forces means Hercules going, and this is not the case. For special forces, selection is of the mind, a capable mind, a mind which is mobile, can quickly think, intelligent, because you have to survive. Now that X, Y, Z, ABCD requirement of that particular mind, that mind must have a body to carry it where it is needed across the Himalayas or wherever. So that's why physical fitness is needed. But physically fit is not suitable, just physically fit, because it's not athletics. It's the brain. So when the brain, you have to think of unthinkable. What is special forces achieves? With a very less manpower, you can halt a tactical action, timely blowing away a bridge which they were about to cross. It'll take a long time before they can. You get a time. So a whole lot of these are the very mundane things. But now special forces is that assassination, this, that, the other, going raids, entering places, few people go and do tasks. Now, special forces is effective, go physically, and the fighting techniques. But then information is of intelligence wings. That so-and-so is there, so-and-so is happening, this is what it is. It has to be exact, and therefore the success. A combination. Army is doing its job there. But these two wings, Army, Special Forces is working with the Army as well. Some elements are doing this on behalf of the nation, along with the so-called Mossad. They planned so well. Long-term plans. Somebody they had planted had almost risen to be a defense minister of a country. Their own chap. So, if you have such deep planning and long memory, as we call it, that of elephantine memory. Elephant has a memory which goes into 3, 4, 5 generations in Africa, that when there is no water in the region that are hanging around, the one of the elephant gets that memory, will carry it for 14, 15 days, walk and carry that herd to a water point. And a nation must have a memory.
Mm.
A nation who wishes to exist and excel with its civilization, its culture, its languages, its very uncivilization, which we boast of thousands and thousands of years. You must be determined to exist. And to exist, you must be capable. Your memory can't be short. There are friends, fine, but preparation must be continuous. We cannot be buying equipment of foreign origin and with chips and everything, then extract whatever you're doing. It's a dangerous thing. It has alarmed the whole world. Can we trust anybody's radio equipment, communication equipment? No, no way. And there are examples like right now, Russia and Ukraine, 4,000 tanks destroyed. And what is the cost of a tank? And what is the equipment which is going? $1,000? Flying over, no man involved. Tank destroyed, men killed. 4,000? Whole scenario has changed. And therefore, the earlier you wanted that people should not know that you got this rifle, and that gun. Now everybody knows because you can see it from satellite where you are. But this unseen equipment, which you do not know what your phone can do. You have no idea. You bought it because it was cheap. Another of same capability, you buy it for $1,000. This is for $400. And person start thinking, what a steal. It's almost you've robbed the person. I've got this phone. But then it is beyond the human ability. If you're not trained and if you're not knowing what is happening, to even think that this can happen. Why would anybody check anything? Never happened. And this is what special forces is, that do something new, unexpected. Surprise is the biggest weapon of a special forces strike.
Sir, within a year, from the 7th of October 2023 to till date, sir, we have seen the extremes. The Hamas attack, which was barbaric, it did not need any technology. It was as if we had shifted to the Stone Ages, to the pager attacks, the walkie-talkie attacks. I mean, we have seen the both extreme ends of warfare. But the question which I have immediately, which comes to my mind, sir, we have seen all these success stories of Mossad. There have been failures too. I mean, the 7th of October 2023 was a massive failure. How did that happen? How did it miss the Mossad?
The anger of Israeli establishment is based on a fact that they trusted that peace has been signed and now we can develop our nation. We don't have to worry too much about them. Just protecting your border and just being in touch is enough. But then, because they pulled out of that system, they did not know what happened, what is happening. Then technical help they received from helping hands far and wide through Iran and other chaps. Maybe China is involved, as you are aware that people say. Now that help was same surprise to Israel as Hezbollah is surprised. So, of course it is a failure. Israel has accepted. We have failed. We have failed together. We all have failed. And the main reason was trust. That now everything is okay. Because Arab nations were involved, America was involved, all those people were involved to ensure that, yeah, now it's all okay. Nothing more needs to be done. You're on your own, and they are on their own. So now they are fighting that no such threat can ever exist. They're prepared to place themselves to be blown away rather than face again. They have sacrificed those prisoners. That's the character. They said that, okay, but can we afford to now? Because the moment you look weak, 10 more attacks would have taken place by now. So they went all out. We will see what happens to them. In any case, whether you get killed that side, those number of those people, or some others get killed that side, it's the citizens of the country are laying their lives for the nation. And therefore they took decision, went out against anybody's opinion. Their existence is important to them, not an opinion or geopolitics of any expert, any neighbor, any nation, whoever, help or don't help. They have to fight it out. That's the issue.
But by the looks of it, this is not going to end very soon.
It cannot end.
Our time is going to end, sir, because this session has to end. I wish we could have continued a bit further, but I'll seek your permission and come back to you at later stages to get more information on these issues, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you and Jai Hind, sir.
Take care and Jai Hind.